I need to say that former President Trump has just started making public remarks, just as he did on the evening of his first arraignment on criminal charges. That was April, when he was booked on 34 felony counts brought by the state of New York. Now, tonight, after his arraignment on federal felony charges, he's speaking again, this time to an audience of his supporters that's gathered for a campaign fundraiser tonight at his golf club and summer home in New Jersey. We knew heading into this that he was planning to make these remarks. We are prepared for his pre-fundraiser remarks tonight to again be essentially a Trump campaign speech. Because of that, we do not intend to carry these remarks live. As we have said before in these circumstances, there is a cost to us as a news organization to knowingly broadcast untrue things. We are here to bring you the news. It hurts our ability to do that if we live broadcast what we fully expect in advance to be a litany of lies and false accusations, no matter who says them.
But again, the FBI had access to those documents, they had access to those boxes, and they had access to all those rooms as well.
Congresswoman, the FBI did not have access to those documents. There was a subpoena for those documents, and then the attorneys for Donald Trump said that they had given all of the documents over, when then that was not true, and then they had to have a raid.
I remember last summer.
Thank you so much,
it was reported in
Congresswoman.
open source
I apologize about the audio issues.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I apologize. We're having an audio issue, but Congresswoman, I thank you so much for joining us.
National security laws and then obstructing and refusing to cooperate with the FBI.
Yeah, whatever this spectacle is that's unfolding before us, let's remember what this case is about. Let's remember what this indictment charges. Again, Donald Trump is charged with a series of federal felonies for mishandling the most sensitive government documents that we have, and for obstruction of justice, along with Walt Nauta, who is charged with intentionally setting up lies to the grand jury, to the FBI. Any way you look at this, and again, despite whatever may be going on in that restaurant, this case isn't going to be settled legally in a cafe. It's going to be settled in the court based on the facts and law.
The folks in the control room, I don't need to see any more of that. He's trying to turn this in. He's trying to turn it into a spectacle, into a campaign ad. That's enough of that. We've seen it already.
Even if the virus came from a lab, as indeed it could have, we don't know that yet, that would only deepen Donald Trump's culpability, because he was the one who repeatedly and enthusiastically praised China's early handling of the pandemic and assured us that he was working closely with President Xi on the response to it. So let's just get the facts straight and leave all the political myth-making aside.
Talk about the three amigos, Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump, and Vladimir Putin. And, you know, I want to step back for a minute, Nicole, and look at this through a political lens. If you recall back in 2020, one of the accusations that was hurled against Democratic candidates, many times very unfairly, is that they were socialists. They were socialists. These were socialists. And this was attributed to maybe some of the margin shrinkage among Latino voters, especially people who had come from countries where socialism had squashed their freedom and their ability to succeed. You are now looking at a political combo, two people endorsing each other in politics, and one of them is running for president of the United States, and the other one is one of the largest and most important communist leaders of a socialist society. That's stunning. Donald Trump loves communism. He loves socialism. And by the way, Ron DeSantis seems to kind of like it too, since he wants the government to control business in Florida. Donald Trump loves communism. He loves socialism.
If you love Mussolini, you will love what Donald Trump is talking about for 2025. Mussolini followed the unitary executive theory too, which meant total power to the dictator, no constraints. This is about as un-American, I think you will all agree, as anything I've ever heard. I mean, the reason why this country was founded was as a rebuke to the British king. We wanted to develop a system where you could not have a king, you could not have a dictator. Power was under constraint. When you were at Tuscaloosa, Joe, I'm sure that you talked about, as you have ever since, the fact that there are checks and balances, 3 branches of government. That's all James Madison, who used to be a conservative hero. Now comes along Donald Trump, the first major candidate in American history to say outright, I want a presidential dictatorship.